Hi, I'm with the U.S. military, and I identify as a 4-star general. And lately, things around here have gotten a little more woke. 10% white, 10% black, 10% Hispanic, 10% Asian, 10% gay, 10% bi, 10% trans, 10% paraplegic, 10% quadriplegic, and 10% severely mentally handicapped. We feel a powerful step in national security for our country is the military's goal of diversity. Without enough inclusivity and diversity, being on the battlefield taking heavy fire just isn't a safe space. So we've worked hard to help turn that around. Let me tell you about all our exciting improvements that ultimately stem from hatred for our country. So we've worked hard at solely focusing on indoctrinating the military with woke principles. We found that solely focusing on operational excellence, technical proficiency, or trained lethality, and solely focusing on national defense was interfering with the military's goal of leadership integrity, agility, or trained inclusivity. So we've worked hard with the military's goal of diversity. I'd to say our Special Forces teams are now the most diverse Special Forces units on the planet. We're proud to say combat leaders will be selected based on race and gender. Each unit is comprised of the ideal tactical diversity ratio. Now that the military has gone woke, now the military includes critical race theory works on its reading list. Critical race theory is important for our soldiers to be indoctrinated into. It's kind of like the only remedy for past discrimination is present discrimination through critical race theory. Luckily, the military is dedicated to ending discrimination by implementing discrimination. So now in life or death situations, we'll have more division between races and hopefully some resentment. A few of the upcoming strategies we'll be implementing to further improve our military are, we'll be rebranding Green Berets as Rainbow Berets. Prior to shooting, snipers will now be required to ask their targets to identify their chosen pronouns. We'll only be going after foreign terrorists who are white. We're replacing all hand-to-hand combat training with hand-holding training, according to our critical race theory tactics. Going after any other type of terrorist who's plotting to kill Americans would obviously be racist. And that's something we don't want to perpetuate. Every Navy SEAL team must be made up of 50% men, 50% women. It'll instill more emotional sensitivity in our soldiers to give them more resiliency. Now moving forward, women who can't lift as much are just as strong as men who can lift more. Because of equality. The idea that men are better suited to carry 80-pound rucks and 210-pound wounded soldiers on their backs over rugged terrain is simply a myth. Thus, the person's strength has no correlation to how strong they are. We've proven through politically correct science that strength is just a social construct, rooted in centuries of toxic masculinity. Everybody's strong enough. And finally, President Biden, our commander-in-chief himself, the leader of identity politics today, has recently informed the world that with our special forces, we are permanently replacing hand-to-hand combat training with hand-holding training. Accordingly, when words are weaponized, we'll no longer be equipping our soldiers with outdated guns. Nothing political there, just actual warfare knowledge. And for the record, no, there's no negative ramifications on the battlefield, okay? Hey, where'd all those caskets come from? We've eliminated all fitness and technical proficiency requirements so that they may be killed in a safe space. As we found, they were uninclusive for the people who couldn't meet them. Here's a woke military question for you. Say you're in a firefight with dangerous radicals in Afghanistan. Are you allowed to shoot back? Absolutely not. Unity is the last thing you want when persons are putting their lives on the line, because that would be uninclusive and racist. Instead, just take the bullets. And as you and your team are laying there dying, just ask yourself this question. How could we have prevented all this through more inclusivity? Inclusivity. Without enough inclusivity and diversity, being on the battlefield taking heavy fire just isn't a safe space. And we'll further be expanding our inclusivity and equality. And instead of fighting a common enemy, because they're not white, what happens when you start fighting each other a little bit? Like now, we're gonna find out. And for the record, by adopting strategies that have proven to be successful in Little League sports, we've eliminated all fitness and technical proficiency requirements. And for the record, we've done nothing but get more powerful as a result. Hey, where'd all those caskets come from? No, there's no negative ramifications on the battlefield, okay? Because they're not white.